Thank you. The first time that I spoke for Bernie at a rally was the time that he first won his seat in Congress in Vermont in 1990. It was, he had called me, they were trying to find celebrities so that there could be a big crowd, but this was just a few months after my first film, and nobody really knew who I was. And I said, haven't you tried anybody else that could bring in a bigger crowd? The big stars at that time were Crocodile Dundee, Milli Vanilli, Vanilla Ice. Couldn't get any of them. He could only get two guys from Vermont who made ice cream. Right. And one guy from Michigan who ate ice cream. That was the extent of the rally. But it was amazing that day thinking about how is a Democratic Socialist going to get elected in Vermont. It seemed like an impossible task. It was so impossible that not only did he win that election, he won 8 different elections to be the only representative in the House of Representatives from the state of Vermont. And after that, he became the senator from Vermont. He holds the record in the United States Congress. No independent in the history of the United States of America has served more terms in the United States Congress. I remember asking Bernie back then, what exactly is a Democratic Socialist? And he said, well, it's very simple. It's what the Democratic Party used to be. It's what Franklin Roosevelt did. He said to me, what it means, Mike, is that everyone gets a seat at the table. And everyone gets a slice of the pie. Not just one person taking 9 slices and letting everybody else fight for the crumbs of the last slice. He said it means that we need not just democracy in our electoral politics, we need a democratic economy, an economy that you and I control. That's what it means. Focus on the democratic part of democratic socialism. I said, so it means essentially that the last shall be first, and the first shall be last. He said, yes, that's it. It started there. And here we are now. Today, look at this. Look at this. Amazing. Amazing. The powers that be are very unhappy that you're here. They're very unhappy that Bernie is back. And so they are doing everything they can to throw everything they can come up with to get people to think differently about Bernie. To get people repeating their tropes. We know what they are, right? We've heard them. They want everybody to repeat them. They got all the pundits repeating it on the news. And now they want the average American repeating it. So what do they say? Bernie's too old. Bernie's too old. college is cool. That's cool. A $7.25 minimum wage. That's cool. Women not being paid the same as men. That's cool. Thousands and thousands of dollars of student debt. What is that? Cool. A $10,000 deductible for your health care. What is that? Super delegates. What's that? Fossil fuel. What's that? That's what's cool. It's actually a gift that we have a 78-year-old American running for president of the United States. And you know why that's a gift? What has a 78-year-old seen? They've seen, Bernie has seen the things many of us have never seen. A pay raise. How about that? A 78-year-old knows what a pay raise is. A 78-year-old knows what a pension is. Pensions! Remember? Look it up. A 78-year-old knows what it looks like to defeat fascism and white supremacy. A 78-year-old knows what it looks like to have your library open every single day of the week. A 78-year-old knows what regulations are, Boeing. No, I'm glad he's 78. And we will benefit from his wisdom and his experience and his knowledge and his love for the American people. The next thing they say is, oh, what about Bernie's health? What about his health? How about we talk about the health of this planet that's dying? That's the health I care about. A Green New Deal. Green New Deal. Green New Deal. What about the health of the kids in Flint, Michigan? What about that health? Talk about that on cable news. What about the health of 40 million people who live in poverty? What about the health of the young black male who's shot in the back by the police? What about that health? Black Lives Matter! The only heart attack we should be talking about is the one Wall Street is going to have when Bernie Sanders is president of the United States. The next one is Bernie can't win. Bernie can't win. Bernie can't win? Well, in addition to the 8 terms in the House and the 2 in the Senate, he won 22 states in the 2016 election. 22 of those half states. And we will win. In 2016, let me just make this clear. In 2016, Bernie won Michigan. Bernie won Michigan. Bernie won Wisconsin. of the 11 states that border Canada, Bernie won 10 of them. 10 of the 11. Of the five states. What was the 11? What was the one state he didn't win? Sadly, you're standing in it. We can fix that. We can fix that. Come on, New York. There it is. Of the five states to touch the Pacific Ocean, Bernie won 4 of them. Of the 6 states of New England, Bernie won 4 of those. Well, Mike, what about the South? What about the South? Bernie won West Virginia. And not just some of West Virginia. Bernie won all 55 counties in West Virginia. And where are we at today with Bernie? According to the polls here in the last month, he's been #1 in Nevada. He is in a dead heat, tied or nearly tied in Iowa. The last poll in September, he was #1 in New Hampshire. That's where Bernie's at. He's raised more money than anybody else from more donors with the smallest of contributions. Bernie, when you say Bernie can't win, you are lying to the American people. Not only can he win, Bernie will win. 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 And finally, people say he can't win because, well, you know, Bernie's a socialist. That's not going to fly. But yeah, when they say that on TV, they should always say, and the American people have loved socialism for the last 70 years. The American people love their Social Security. The American people love having a free public school. The American people love Medicare and Medicaid. The American people love their fire department. These are all socialist measures. You know, what they don't really want to do is tell you the truth. They don't want to tell you the truth of what, if we structured our economic policies differently, if we structured them with democracy instead of a feudal system called capitalism. And it's not the capitalism of your great-grandparents. It's a new form of greed and selfishness and making sure that just the very few at the top benefit and everybody else struggles to live from paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, if they have a paycheck at all. What they're really afraid of is that taxes on the rich are going to go up with Bernie Sanders. And when they explain But here's my favorite, and this was so depressing during the debate last week, watching Democrats go after Medicare for all. What would Franklin Roosevelt say about these Democrats? We can't afford it. We can't afford it. We can't afford Medicare for all. Oh, really? Well, somebody explain to me, how does Canada afford it? I mean, No offense to Canada, but where are they getting all that money for all the free health care? What do Canadians sell that gets them all that money for all that free? You know, the Kit Kat bar. The Kit Kat bar is a Canadian invention. Maple syrup. Yeah, that's it. The Canadians sell so much maple syrup, everybody gets free health care. It's embarrassing that if the Canadians have figured it out, if every other industrialized country on this planet has figured it out, why are we unable to figure it out? That's because they don't want us to figure it out. They don't want it to happen. They want to say, they say to Bernie, they say to Elizabeth, oh, whoa, taxes are going to go up. Just tell people that. Tell them right now, their taxes are going to go up. That is part of the big lie. Your taxes are already up. You're right, and I'll tell you why. Here's the difference. We don't call it a tax in the United States. In Canada or France or Finland or any of a number of other countries, they not only get their free health care, they have free or nearly free daycare, they have free or nearly free college, and they pay a little bit more in taxes than we do for those things. Now, what does the average American pay who has kids and need for child care? An average of $12,000 a year. What do you pay to pay off your student loans? An average of about $4,000 a year. What do you pay for your deductibles and your co-pays, your premiums? That's another $6,000 a year on average. Too damn much is right. And I'll tell you what, add those numbers, just daycare, health care, and student loan, that's an average of $20,000 a year. And we don't call it a tax. They pay a little bit more tax in these countries. They get all those things for free or nearly free. This is a ruse that's been played on the American people. And this is what needs to be figured out and explained to people. I just noticed there was a honeybee just flying around the podium right now. And how sad it is, how rare it is that you see a honeybee these days. In closing, I love the fact that we're here in Queensbridge Park. Because behind you on that island in Manhattan is the headquarters of corporate America. On that island behind you, that is the headquarters of corporate media. On that island behind you is the headquarters of Wall Street. So much misery has been visited upon the American people from a half a mile away from us. This has to stop. They have to hear this. They have to hear you across the river. Goldman Sachs, can you hear us? Fox News, can you hear us? Trump Tower, can you hear us? It's the scene of the crime over there. We're like Washington crossing the Delaware, except today it's just the East River. But like Bernie says, this is not just about defeating Trump. This is about defeating that which gave us Trump, the rotten system that gave us Donald Trump. That's got to go. And the polls will show you that there's 4 or 5 Democrats, consistently it shows head-to-head, can beat Trump. But beating him isn't enough. Hillary beat him. It's not enough. We need to not only crush Trump at the polls, afterwards, we need to fix this rotten corrupt economic system that gave us Donald Trump and everything else we're dealing with. I am proud today to offer my endorsement of Senator Bernie Sanders. And I want to close by just reading you one sentence. One sentence. When I heard this, I thought, well, this is really the best description of what we all want. It's really the best description of what democratic socialism is, or what the Democratic Party, we hope, will be. I'd like to just read this sentence to you, because to me it says it all. And I'm inspired by Bernie's whole idea that this is not about, as he says, me. It's about us. This is the sentence that best describes this. Listen to these words. We, the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty. We do ordain this Constitution of the United States of America. On January 20th, 2021, I want to see Bernie Sanders swear that he will defend this Constitution from all enemies, domestic and foreign, especially domestic. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.